Stagnation, welcome back to the channel. Crypto warriors, if you're watching this on Gentlemen of Crypto, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Brazen.
And your boy Double O.
Hey, today we're going to be talking about Coinbase, right? And protecting your coins. You know, it's a very interesting situation, right? For those who are not familiar yet, let's bring you in on the loop on what we're talking about here. Double O. Here's the thing. If you are on Coinbase or if you're with a bank, right? And at any point in time, they send out a notification letting you know, hey, listen, if anything happens to our bank, okay, it's really on you. There is nothing we can do. How would you feel about that one?
Freaking out.
Freaking out. Why is that? It seems, doesn't it seem reasonable to just, you know, if they lose your money or if they can't, you know, give you back your money if anything happens, then it is what it is, isn't it?
I mean, you can say, oh, you know, it's protected by the FDIC. Yeah, so they're required to give you back 100K or whatever it is that they're going to give you back if they were to lose your money.
Right.
But that's not always the case. You should go ask the folks in Europe to see what happened to them over there.
Exactly. Look, I mean, is Coinbase going to really do this to people? I don't know, right? But here's why we're talking about this here, because obviously this is not something like for us to just sit here and say, you know, Coinbase, you know, it's not going to give you your money back or anything crazy like that. You know, it has to stem from somewhere, right? In this case, they brought up the topic, so let's talk about it. So, as Bitcoin was crashing, right, which is also the curious part about the situation, because they did this while during the market crash, right? And this is not a message I would like to see when the market is crashing. So as the price of Bitcoin crashed, right, Coinbase released this. These are just updates to their terms of services, right? And essentially what this says is because custodially held crypto assets may be considered to be property of a bankruptcy state, in the event of a bankruptcy, the crypto assets we hold in custody on behalf of our customers could be subject to bankruptcy proceedings, and such customers could be treated as our general unsecured creditors. We also see that Celsius had the same warning at a point in time when the markets are absolutely going to garbage. When I saw this, I mean, this is an uncomfortable feeling. Now, here's the thing. Someone might say, Coinbase is not really going to crash. They're just putting this there because of, I don't know, if it's not going to happen, right? If there is not a possibility, right, then why would they make such an update during such a time?
My feedback to this is two things, right? So
Right.
a few days later, the CEO comes out and say, you know, the law doesn't really work like that. A couple of lawyers on Twitter were also saying that, you know, by law, you
Right.
know, as a customer, that does not automatically take effect. There actually has to be a jury or some kind of process that requires for your coins to become part of the proceedings of the bankruptcy.
Right.
That said, though, it made me think about what we've always said on the show, is that Coinbase is trying to be the modern bank, right? So is Coinbase taking your coins and lending it out or leveraging it out? What is Coinbase doing with your crypto that is so dangerous that it has to become part of a proceeding? Are they banking your coin? Instead of self-banking, is Coinbase banking for you?
Exactly. Look, this is why we're doing this video, because ultimately it is your money. And I think the important thing about your money, which is the value which you've worked hard for, has to be secured by all means. Previously, banks have held this money and they've done what they wanted to do with it, right? And no consequences. We saw no interest from this situation. So
unless you're Ally, you're like 0.05. You know, by the way, Ally is 0.06 now.
Oh, Ally is 0.06? Oh,
I'm so lucky I didn't move my money.
That's some impressive stuff right there. 0.06. Why would you do with all of that money? Insane.
Dude, I'm telling you, I am so lucky I didn't move all that money from Ally into Anchor.
Yeah. That dude, that would have been a big destruction right there. Good thing you didn't do that one. Now, here's the thing. In this new in this new era of money, right? In this new era of Bitcoin, privacy is one of the most important things. So we're going to talk about some of the ways where you can maintain your privacy as you use Bitcoin, right? And protect your Bitcoins, place to buy your Bitcoins while maintaining privacy, right? So let's jump right into it. When it comes to privacy, you see, Bitcoin, it encourages a higher level of privacy than we had before, right? Strong privacy. But the issue is some of the ways that we use it is not so private, right?
Many of the
Now, at the same
ways,
time,
many of the
was
ways
that?
that everybody, it's many of the ways that everybody uses it, including myself.
Yes, yes. It may not be very private. So the only thing we can do is to understand it better, because when we understand it better, right, then we can better use these things, right? So when you understand Bitcoin properly, you can take advantage of it, and you have true ownership when you have control of your own keys, right? So
Yeah.
let's roll through some of this. Let's look at some of the ways where you can maintain your privacy throughout the process of owning Bitcoin. We're talking from buying it to transferring it, transacting, and storing it, right? And the first one is going to be with the exchanges. As we know, Bitcoin was meant to be peer-to-peer, but regulations and leadership always have to have their foot in everything. So we have KYC now, which, look, it's okay. The governments are going to do what they do, and it's up to you to do what you need to do.
Can I say something about the old government process?
Jump in there,
Back in the day, let's just
right?
reverse back to history. When you had your gold and your silver, did the
Right.
government have to know how much gold or silver that you had? Even in the most recent years before the
Ooh,
big banking systems got involved, your money is your money. The bank does not know the exact penny that you have, to
this
the
is
point that
true.
it determines your credit and how much loan you can take. But the system
Mm,
has changed so much now that they have so much information on you that in countries like China and Europe, you can
right.
almost not do anything because the government knows everything about every single penny that you have. And that's one of the things that Bitcoin is trying to change. It's like give you back your sovereignty. Like, it's your money,
Absolutely.
it's your time, it's your value. You should be able to store it without governments or people's or corporations' hands in it. That should
Exactly.
not determine, really, it should not determine how much loan or debt you can take.
Exactly. I mean, that's why they're pushing for these CBDCs, right? Because at the end of the day, man, you're a sovereign human. And I mean, you should trust yourself with your own property. You see what I mean? If I mean, look at how we are as humans. I think if we can trust each other to raise a human life, I think money is it's a it's a minuscule detail to handle. You see what I mean? So, if you want to buy bitcoins without KYC, you want to maintain your privacy as you purchase some bitcoins, you can use decentralized exchanges. These are situations where you don't have to provide your ID, social security number, blood sample, you know what I mean, hair color, all of that kind of good stuff. You can use you can use stuff like hodlhodl.com. You can use Paxful. You can use BISC. BISC is a good one. And local bitcoins. I have used Paxful once, and the transaction was smooth. It's slower, right?
Yeah.
And you would have to maybe pay some higher premiums compared to using an exchange, but it's the price you pay for having that higher level of privacy. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
it's slower because of the liquidity. It's not. Well, let me make it easier. Let's
I mean,
not. Let's,
even
let's
the,
not.
even the
Let's
whole
not as.
process itself, like it's not super simple, like just how you would go on Coinbase and just click and buy, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's more so it's peer to peer. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. Which I don't
Yeah.
think is a problem, man. Why do you need to buy everything instantly? Why does everything need to be instant? You
Well,
know,
it's exchanges when you're trying to the markets, how the markets work. Remember, we've been to the old trading regimen already.
no, but this
Time
this is this
time
is what I'm
time is
saying.
money.
This is what I'm saying. With buying Bitcoin, right? You could buy Bitcoin the same way you could buy shoes from someone. Let's say if I want to buy some shoes from you, I could be like, hey, double O, I see your shoes on eBay. Can I get those? I'll pay in cash. And you're like, okay, cool, right?
Yeah.
Then when I get off work, I'll meet up with you and grab the shoes.
Yeah.
My life did not end because I didn't get it instantly. You see, I think this is one thing that society really needs to get
Oh.
straight, man.
Well, yeah.
Why do things need to keep getting faster and faster? Where are we rushing to?
Well.
Okay. It does not matter to me if I get that Bitcoin in 1 millisecond or if I get it in 2 seconds, man. I have the Bitcoin now. right? So
you
we
sound
carry on.
you sound like Mac Moss on this one.
Well, because he brings up a very good point too, because that's the reality across society. And I've even said this, even like before like, you know, here's the thing. I've always felt like every time a new phone is released, right? They're like, oh, it's faster and it's faster and it's faster. But guess what, bro? When I call someone, I don't feel like they're picking up the phone faster. So what is the point of this? Exactly. Yeah. So hey, look, it is what it is. Right? Well, let's keep it moving here. Next thing is storage. So now you've gone on these decentralized exchanges. You've got yourself some Bitcoin, right? Sent to your wallet and stuff like that. How do you store it? Right. Storage is very important. I think one of the most important things is to use storage devices that, for one, have something like coin control, right? And that are either cold wallets, something that is difficult to attack, if you will, right? You can have a cold wallet, you can have other
Mm-hmm.
desktop wallets like Wasabi, Samurai, and Ledger. For
Mm-hmm.
me, I think these are some of my favorites because, which, by the way, all of these companies we're talking about here, we are not sponsored by these companies, but this is just about dropping the good info. Which, you know, if anyway, if they want to sponsor us, I'm not against it. You know what I'm saying? There's that. Which I don't know if they can, like Ledger, for example. We use those. But anyway, let's keep it moving. Coin control. When you use wallets with coin control, what advantages does that give you? So you see, when you purchase your bitcoins, right, and you send them into a wallet, what happens is they use this in first in first out model, right? And what that does is, as you transfer your bitcoins, because every bitcoin is labeled, right, and when it's sitting in your wallet, it's, you could consider it a UTXO, unspent transaction. So when you go to spend your bitcoins, the ones that you sent in first will usually get sent out first, right? And so with coin control, what you can then do is you can select which bitcoins will be used in a transaction. So, for example, if you bought some bitcoins that were um, from Coinbase, right, you could literally label them from Coinbase, and then you could use those ones when you're trying to engage in a transaction. It's the same thing like having dollar bills, right? You might have a crooked dollar bill. You're like, I don't want to pay for this with a crooked dollar bill. So you give the crooked
Just
dollar
leave
bill
it.
away, right? And then you keep the one that you like.
That's
Your
what I
thoughts
do
on
all the
that,
time, especially when I'm in Nigeria.
right?
I always give away the
Oh,
cricket naira first.
yeah, dude. I always give away the dirty one, man, because I'm like, I don't want to carry this dirty one. I mean, it's going good.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, you either want to get a hard wallet or you want to
Yeah,
get a software wallet, not a browser wallet.
yeah.
Because as you know from the recent news, MetaMask got hacked. The Apple wallets got the is it the Coinbase wallet on Apple or something like that also got hacked. So
And
you wanna try to avoid the browser based wallet, which we do have MetaMask, but you know we hardly ever use that. We just use it for some basic transactions.
yeah, I don't know if we can keep becoming MetaMask, but yeah, I mean, just don't use a browser wallet. Use something
Yeah,
like a desktop wallet. Use a solid wallet for these things. That way,
yeah,
you don't get hacked. Because as we can see, people are getting hacked left and right these days.
yep.
Now, moving on then, our next point here. Oh, dude, I went to the wrong page on Stream Deck. I need to reorganize this Stream Deck so I can use it much more efficiently. But I'm learning as we go. Okay, there's no problem with that. Now let's talk about addresses, because this is the next piece of this is the next point of interest when it comes to privacy. You see, one thing we want to do is refrain from using the same address multiple times, right? Because this increases the possibility of someone finding your transactions or tracking your transactions on the blockchain, right? Because you have things like what is it, block scanners, which we can use to track your transactions, and makes it much more difficult, right, to try to use other surveillance methods to track your transactions if you are not using the same address every time. So what we want to do is to not send the same address to multiple people, not use the same address over and over again, as we already stated, right?
Mm-hmm.
The good news is most wallets these days will uh,
Surrender the
refresh your
address.
address, right? All ever so often. I'm not sure how often it refreshes it, but that is happening right now. Go ahead, Double O.
Yeah. I think this is also really critical that once you get on the wallet, right? One of the
Mhm.
biggest challenges that we had with money was the double spending issue. right?
Right.
And which allow the big funds, the hedge funds, to create derivatives off of the securities that they are trading. And that's
Right.
kind of what they're trying to do with Bitcoin as well. Is that they could eventually start creating just like the the uh, the recent Bitcoin ETF that was
Right.
approved. That just sort of like a derivative, which allows them to spend almost $1 billion worth of money on not actually holding Bitcoin, which is not what Bitcoin is trying to solve. Bitcoin is not that kind of security. It wants you to spend the exact or trade the exact amount of Bitcoin available, just like you did. Well, gold is no longer straight on gold. It's now also derivatives. So this whole address issue also helps solve that. When you go
Absolutely.
to a certain address, it tells you that is the amount of Bitcoin that went through that certain address at that certain time. It keeps track, it creates the credibility and the accountability going.
Absolutely. Now, the other thing I'll add as well, when it comes to addresses, as you engage in Bitcoin transactions, one thing you want to do is to use the Lightning Network, right? So, for those who are not familiar with what the Lightning Network is, the Lightning Network allows you to use your Bitcoins, right, or your Sats to pay for items, and it is significantly faster. This is one of the things where people will say, "Oh, you don't, things on Bitcoin are slow." Well, with the Lightning Network, transactions are almost instant. And also, more importantly, it does these transactions off chain, right? And so, what happens when these transactions are done off chain is that you have a pool of transactions. And once that channel of transactions is closed, it is now posted to the blockchain as one transaction. So, it's you and a bunch of other people, almost like a CoinJoin kind of situation. So, use Lightning when making Bitcoin transactions to minimize your information, or at least minimize tracking of your transactions, right? Now, the next thing we're going to look at here is CoinJoin and labeling UTXOs. This kind of goes back a little bit to what we've spoken about already here. So when we talk about CoinJoin, this is the process whereby you use something like Wasabi, right? You can use Wasabi. You can use, I don't think Samurai has it. But Wasabi has the CoinJoin feature, and I think Samurai also, does Samurai have the CoinJoin feature? It should.
Yeah, most likely.
If I remember correctly, it should. Yes. So we know Wasabi has the CoinJoin feature. Samurai has the CoinJoin, and what happens here is that when you go to send your Bitcoins, right, instead of sending it directly to one wallet or it's from one address to another, what you can do is you can send this Bitcoin into this pool of other Bitcoins. And so the CoinJoin essentially mixes up everyone's Bitcoins and then distributes it this way. If someone is trying to track your transactions, at that point they're confused, right? They can think of possibilities of what may have happened to the coins, but at this point you've gone ghost mode on them, and there is no way they can find you.
Nope.
I don't know if say no way, but it's a lower possibility of them finding you. So, and then of course labeling UTXOs. This is something that I spoke about a little bit earlier as well. And once I know the ledger will allow you to label UTXOs now, and you just have to find out with whatever wallet you're using if it's something that you can label UTXO. There's YouTube videos left and right about this stuff. So I think that is pretty cool as well. Double up.
Yeah, I mean, I literally like the way that slide was designed, and I think the goal here is that you want to reduce. It's not that we are against the government. We actually work for the government. It's just that you want to reduce outsiders' influence or insight into your money.
Yeah.
We always say you don't want people to know how much money you have. And because of the transparency and the accountability that Bitcoin provides you, you actually want to do just a little bit extra step to protect yourself from the public or from the private industry from really digging into, how much Bitcoin does this guy have? It's super rich. Like, you don't need to know my business. So this is the privacy aspect. So as Bitcoin crashes and you guys accumulate, and one day you wake up and you're like super millionaire, you don't want people in your business to say, hey, Double O has
Absolutely. Well, look, man, I agree with you there. It's not about being against the government and things like that, but it's just about individual sovereignty. It is your responsibility to make sure that you're always at your best, right? And making sure that everything your assets are protected, right?
Yeah.
From anyone,
Yeah.
anyone, and that includes the government, because this is what the Constitution is about, right? Right to bear arms, freedom of speech, all of these things. So you should exercise it while you have it. It's very important, right?
Yeah.
And if we start getting into an environment or a situation where common sense start looking like you're against the government, then we have a problem, for sure.
Hey, we just have a problem in Canada,
Right?
in that case.
Exactly, because when you work hard and you preserve your value, right? I don't think any human being on earth has the right to freeze your funds for any reason, right? And no human being. I mean, dude, we're seeing a whole country get their assets frozen, right? So if Russia's accounts can be frozen, who are you, right? So, but I'll tell you what, you are an important person, says Bitcoin. All you have to do is do the right things. So I don't know, man. Is there anything else we can say to this? I think these are some of the best Bitcoin privacy practices, if you will, right? And I also add, after you coin join your coins, you want to still maintain that separation, right? For me personally, I have some coins that I bought on. I bought some Bitcoins, no KYC, right? And I store those separately from my coins that I bought on the exchange. And then one day I'm gonna run those through CoinJoin. And then run it through CoinJoin again, and we'll see what happens at that point in time, right? So I think, look, man, the message here is very simple. It's very clear, right? You want to make sure that you're in full control of your coins, first of all, right? And then second of all, what you want to do is to make sure that you get, oh damn, that disappointed me. Hang on. Well, get your coins or get your Bitcoin, okay, off the exchanges. That's what we're saying. There we go. All right. Well, any final thoughts on this one, Double O? Yes. Get the coins off the exchange, man, ladies and gentlemen. Look, this has been an exciting one. We think that these are the best practices for your Bitcoin, maintaining privacy and security on your Bitcoin, right? Did we miss any? We probably missed a bunch, right? Let us know in the comments down below. How are you protecting your Bitcoins? I mean, you don't have to tell us the location, but just some comments on some practices that you're engaged in, right, with your Bitcoin. I think if you share that with us, right, the same way we shared, we'll all be better for it. Final thoughts, Double O.
Hey, how you guys doing with that Bitcoin crash?
Dude, hey, we are 30K now, man.
Yes, sir. We
Didn't we hit 31K the other day?
31, almost 32K last night.
Oh, dude, it's a beautiful thing, man. I've been buying. I've been averaging down. I don't know how much more I can buy, but I know that my job needs to pay me faster so I can buy more. Right? Hey, man, this is a fun one. Let's get out of here, man. All right. Until next time. Brazen out.